So we just got episode 2 of House of the Dragon, and I've got to say, I am very impressed so far by what I'm seeing. I wasn't too sure in episode 1, but I feel like I'm really starting to like this show a lot more than I expected to. So we see a 6-month time jump in between episode 1 and 2. So the king's wife died 6 months ago, and he's still understandably in mourning. But everybody wants him to get married so he can further the line, which is understandable because, yes, he's going through a mourning period, but he is king and he does have a duty to further the Targaryen line, and he's old and sick, so there's sort of a lot of time pressure on him. So we have Rhaenyra's best friend, which is going to be really awkward later on, Alicent Hightower, and also Lena Valerian, who have both of their fathers sort of pushing them towards the king, trying to get them to be queens so that they can get the power of the Iron Throne for their families, for themselves. And you feel sorry for these girls, but at the same time, you know, Alicent never tells Rhaenyra what's going on. She sort of goes behind her back, which is a pretty lousy thing to do to her friend. Yeah, it's going to be really awkward going from best friends to future stepmother. I mean, imagine family dinners from now on. Anyway, so honestly, I think the king seems like he's someone who is a good person and honourable and wants to do the right thing. But at the same time, he's sort of like Tommen Lannister or Ned Stark. A good person, but just someone who doesn't have what it takes to survive in Westeros, because you need to be brutal and ruthless to get what you want there. So while it is definitely disturbing to see Lena, who is age 12, and Alicent, who I think is 15, trying to win over this man who could be their grandfather, but at the same time, I'm very glad that House of the Dragon sort of keeps that brutality, that Machiavellian sort of brutality that Game of Thrones was known for. I was thinking they may tone it down a lot in House of the Dragon because of current day, you know what I'm talking about. But no, they're still keeping in line with the universe, with how brutal and how ruthless you had to be in that world to get ahead. And so we see the two girls vying for the king. And at the same time, we have Daemon, played by Matt Smith, who absolutely steals every scene that he's in. He's definitely been the highlight of the show for me so far. I have to admit, at first, I wasn't really sure about him playing Daemon, but in this episode, I've got to say I really warmed up to him. I sort of have to take a while to get used to some characters, but no, I think he's definitely the standout of the show so far. So his character, Daemon, takes Dragonstone by force. He's not meant to have it, Rhaenyra is. So she comes and takes back the egg. He stole a dragon egg, and she comes and takes it back, and they have sort of a mini face-off where she's like, if you want to get what you want, if you want the Iron Throne, you're going to have to kill me. And he just walks away. So it's one of those moments where you can see he's still a bit conflicted. He wants power, but he also seems to care about his family. At least he cares about them to a degree. This is a really gross thing to say, but this is Game of Thrones, and the Targaryen family are infamous for inbreeding, for marrying each other. So I've got to wonder, why doesn't Daemon marry Rhaenyra? Like, I know there's something probably really obvious I'm not seeing here, but that would keep the bloodlines pure, and that's what they're so concerned about. Not that I agree with them doing that, but I'm just saying, in universe, that seems to be the smart thing to do. I don't know. Anyway, so the king ends up marrying Alicent Hightower, and of course the Sea Snake is definitely not happy. Either is Rhaenyra, and it's not because she wanted the throne so badly. Like, I do think she wants it, but not in a way where she's willing to sacrifice her family and what's best for them. But still, she does want it. But the thing that makes her mad, I think, is that she feels betrayed by her friend, by Alicent, who's basically gone behind her back. Even though she was pushed to do it by her father, she still went behind her friend's back and took her father and all that's really creepy when you think about it. But anyway, so we see the sea snake going to Daemon and trying to form an allegiance, and it looks like Daemon's going to accept, but who knows? He's a bit of a wild card. You can't really guess what he's going to do. But if they form an allegiance, that will be really interesting to see how that plays out going forward. And it's also interesting to see where the sea snake starts talking badly about the king, and Daemon's reaction is to defend his brother. And it's another one of those moments where you see that he really is still quite conflicted over what he wants, his political ambitions, and the loyalty that he has for his family. So yeah, it's interesting because, like so many people in the Game of Thrones universe, he's not black or white, he's a shade of grey. So anyway, let me know down below what you thought of this episode. What are your thoughts? What do you want to see happen moving forward? And please consider subscribing if you want to see more from me, or just give this video a like. It really helps my channel to grow. Thanks, guys.